The following podcast will contain spoilers and coarse language. My name is Carl.
My name is Ari.
And this is Great Expectations, the movie review podcast where we talk about what we expected and what we got, and we don't stay on topic.
Yeah, we don't want it on topic.
No, nobody wants to stay on topic. Today we're talking about The Conjuring 2, the Enfield Poltergeist.
It was something like that.
But in the movie title, it just said Conjuring 2.
Yeah.
So even they gave up on that. Lorraine and Ed Warren travel to North London to help a single mother raising 4 children alone in a house plagued by malicious spirits.
There's one spirit.
The 2.
Well, one spirit and one demon.
That counts as 2 spirits.
Spoiler alert, but there's a demon.
Alright. So before we begin our review, we're going to give our Great Expectations rant on the worst movie-going experience that we've ever had.
It was so fucked up.
Alright, so let me set the stage. So, Ari and I rushed from our 2 respective workplaces to go and watch this movie.
Friday night,
9 p.m. We bought our popcorn, we bought our drink. We sat down. The cinema's about a third full. A trailer comes on for Don't Turn Off the Lights or something like that. Or What's in the Dark.
This is the one from that YouTube video with the lights and they switch it off,
Yeah. Which, that looks alright.
Yeah.
But, these 2 girls in the back corner, they start screaming their fucking lungs out.
They weren't just screaming, they were like just commenting on everything so loud that everyone could fucking hear it.
Yeah,
They're like, oh my god, that was so scary.
Yeah. They talked about the fact of like what the people in the movie should do and shouldn't do.
Scream out to him.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my god. Like, and things like, I wouldn't return the fire truck. Well, you're a fucking idiot then, aren't you, for returning the fire truck?
Yeah.
Things like that. And this was probably... So Ari and I looked at each other just because during this trailer, they were I can't emphasize how much that these people were screaming.
They're like screaming like as loud as the screams from the fucking
No, they were way... It was almost like they were genuinely getting murdered or something in the back. It was off. It was a fucking outrage. And so then the movie begins, and it doesn't stop.
Up to that point, there was people who were like laughing, thinking it was like a joke, and they didn't think they'd do it the whole fucking time. Yeah. Then they were just like,
because what the girls were like, shit! Oh, that was so fucking scary. Somebody hold my hand, and everyone was like, kind of. I was not amused. I was not amused. I don't even.
Once it goes dark, you should shut the fuck up.
Yeah. This is how respectful I am of people around me. Sometimes I don't even chew popcorn because I'm afraid it's too loud. I suck on it a little bit.
I wait for loud moments. Then I put my hand in the popcorn.
Put my hand in because I don't want eating my popcorn to be too loud. That's how respectful we are as patrons of the cinema. So then people started to everyone was getting a little angry at these women.
But they gave him a chance. They didn't say shut up for a while.
Yeah, they gave him a chance for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I'd say 20 minutes before there was this couple in front of us, and the chick was obviously getting pissed off about it and was to the boyfriend do something. And he was like, and then eventually he was like, shut up!
Was that in front of us?
That was one in front of us, and then there were more behind us. Yeah. So then they didn't listen. I don't know how...
They didn't even respond.
Yeah, they didn't even respond to it. They just continued being their bitchy selves. Yeah. And then other people started to yell, shut up to them. Like, it would always be like, they'd scream like a little bit, and straight away, like it was like a knee-jerk reaction, was like, shut up! Yeah. Straight to them.
And apparently people threw shit at them.
Yeah, you could hear the girls, and they were like, who keeps throwing stuff at us? Yeah. And how did they not get the message by then? I'd say we were almost 40 minutes into the movie. Do you think?
The whole first half, at least, was ruined. Yeah. So I was... every bit of, like, tension...
spoiled.
Yeah, it was so spoiled. Like, you knew something was going to happen, and you were like... gearing up for it, and then it'd be like, like, oh, shut the fuck up.
It was almost masterful in the way that they set up the scene, did the whole like setting. It was like you were like, oh, I'm in it, and then just in the background, out of like your left ear, you just were like, oh my god, don't do that. Oh my god, what are you doing with that fucking fire truck? Oh my god, what are you doing? Don't do that. I wouldn't do that with the fire truck. That's what it was like. And it was bullshit. And fuck them.
Do you remember when the ghost came out and he yelled like as loud as he could? One chick just like went off. Yeah. That was fucked up. Yeah. She was so loud.
Eventually, two girls near them, who I think were the ones that were the most, like, I think they were the ones throwing stuff at them.
Hopefully.
They moved down towards the front. But during this first half, I couldn't enjoy the movie because I kept on thinking of situations in which I could retaliate to get them to shut up.
Like, you couldn't tell what they are, but you have to find them, like...
And I reckon just from how vocal they were, they would be the people that would then be like, tell me to shut the fuck up.
Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, don't tell me what to do. I paid my ticket. This is Australia. It's a free country.
Yeah. They'd be horrible people.
They are horrible people. I hope... Yeah, they shut up after about 40 minutes.
Kind of.
They still every now and then they had some like little things to say.
They're still constantly talking. They're not like loud talking. Really.
Yeah. I hope they died a violent death.
Yeah. I hope they crash on the way home.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Fuck them. That was fucked up.
That's why our review today is kind of swayed, in which I reckon I can only review about the second half of this movie, and even then I'm not happy about it because it was such a terrible movie going experience. I was angry from the first half that it bled into me of the second half.
Yeah, I did get into it a little bit.
Yeah, like it was every time I would get into a scene and then they'd say something and I'd be out of it like that. It would be just completely spoiled.
Yeah.
Now we've had a little rant and a little vent.
Yeah.
We can get into our expectations for this film. Well, what were your expectations for the movie?
I didn't think it'd be that good. I don't really like the first one.
Yeah, I had pretty low expectations actually. I think I enjoyed the first one, but I've never watched it again. It's not very memorable. It's pretty forgettable.
I only remember the tree, and that's it.
I remember the clap.
I think I only remember the clap and the tree. I think I only remember the tree because they fucking showed a picture of it in this one.
Yeah.
I didn't really remember before that. I was like, oh right, that was a tree.
But yeah, so, and then I thought the trailers didn't look good either.
I don't know if I did see a trailer, yeah.
They played a trailer before, The Nice Guys, but I didn't think that... I thought it looked really, like a bad horror, like one of those, like, straight-to-DVD ones.
Yeah, and I always hate in horror movies how, like, it's based on the truth. I don't mind when they say it's based on a true story, and it's, like, total bullshit, like Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
But, like, when they say it's based on a true story, and it kind of is, and they try and make it, like, all real and shit, like, fuck you. That's retarded. And it's sort of like the most documented fucking Paranormal Activity case.
Maybe it's like the one that the media was the most involved in.
Maybe.
Just judging from the movie, like they tell you that the media is.
They say it's the most documented.
Yeah, but I'd never heard of it before.
So, yeah.
And also, I thought the trailers kind of spoiled like every single scare. I was wrong. We'll talk about that. I was wrong. I was expecting to know every single scare because I'd seen that it had played before 3 movies I saw recently, and I was really fucking sick of the trailer.
The only one I really remembered was when she was at the door and she got grabbed from behind.
The one that I kept on waiting for was the one where all of the crucifixes turn upside down.
Oh yeah.
Jumps out of the darkness. But yeah, there was a bunch of stuff that wasn't spoiled at all that I think they probably could have capitalized on the trailer, and that would have made me more excited. Also, the fact that James Wan, who did the last Conjuring and he did 2 of the Insidious movies, he did Saw and he did the latest Fast and Furious, I feel like he is above horror now. Like, I don't think he feels like he has anything else to offer. Like, he had Conjuring, he did Fast and Furious 7, which was a $1 billion film, and now he's doing Aquaman. I feel like his heart isn't in doing this movie. Like, I don't understand. Like, he's becoming high profile, and I don't think he really wanted to return to this. So that was my mentality going into it.
All the dialogue was pretty retarded in this movie.
Yeah.
Like when the chick was like, I saw an angel and I was a little girl. Like, he looked at me, like, no one believed me. Like, fuck you. That was dumb. There's a lot of dumb moments.
There are a lot of dumb moments that would come with most horror films. But anyway, we can both conclude that we both went in low expectations. Yeah. We'll talk about this later. This movie is 2 hours and 15 minutes long.
Well,
I thought it was dragging towards the end, but I did not think this movie was going to be over 2 hours long when I looked at the running time.
Yeah, neither. Like, a lot of the movie was just like, us going, fuck those chicks.
Yeah,
fuck
like,
this.
I think that maybe made the movie longer.
Yeah.
Alright. So, let's talk about the top 5 actors, and we'll see how we thought they did. The first actor on this list is Vera Farmiga.
Is that the main
That is
chick?
Lorraine Warren. She's
okay.
I didn't think that. I think that she's a good actress. I'm actually a really big fan of her. I like her in everything.
It's not like her best work.
Yeah, this isn't her best work, and I think
It's
there's.
a bit phoned in.
Wouldn't say phoned in. I get because sometimes I thought she was really good, but there was some line readings where I thought maybe that's just the dialogue that I thought was letting her down. But like I thought she kind of like went way up and down in the way that I thought that she was really good in some scenes, and then just really, really quite bad in other scenes. When especially there was one scene where she had to cry, that I thought that she was really bad in.
I didn't remember that.
But then she's fantastic in like Up in the Air and The Judge, and she's good in the first Conjuring as well, if I recall, and Bates Motel.
That's where I know her from.
And she's really good in Orphan. Like I think she's the mother in Orphan.
Right, yeah.
She's really good in that, and Source Code. She's good in Source Code.
Yeah.
Like I think she's a consistent actress, but I don't think this is her best role.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah.
She looks really familiar, but like I couldn't place her. At all. Apart from Conjuring 1, which I knew she'd be in, obviously.
Yeah. I don't think she's like a household name.
Yeah.
But next up we have Patrick Wilson as Ed Warren.
Yeah, I like that guy.
I fucking love Patrick Wilson.
He's pretty good.
I think he's disappointing that he hasn't had more of a career.
Is he in Insidious as well?
Yeah, so he's in the first two Insidious movies. He's been in the 2 Conjuring movies. I think he's become pretty good friends with that director.
Yeah.
But he's also like...
Is he in Stretch?
Yeah. He's great in Stretch, because Stretch is great.
It's strange.
It's great, bud.
I remember it was okay, and I was like, but I was a bit like, what the fuck?
Taken aback by what was actually, because of how strange it was.
I was just like, what the fuck? Yeah.
But he's fantastic in the Fargo television series. He's good in Young Adult, Morning Glory, The Switch, The A-Team. He's underused in Watchmen.
Oh, he is Owlman.
Yeah. Little Children, he's fantastic in, and he's good in Hard Candy as well.
Oh, he was the pedophile in Hard Candy.
Yeah.
That was a fucked up movie.
Yeah, but and I think he's the best actor in this movie.
Yeah, probably. What about the old man? But I like the old man.
Yes, he gave a Oscar-worthy performance.
Nah, he was good.
No, actually, I thought he was good in the scene where he was telling the truth, and he was
and he was fairly intimidating.
He was agile as well. I was like, "Look at you, sir!
He was a ghost.
Aren't you agile?"
But he's a ghost.
Yeah, I thought Patrick Wilson was particularly good in the scene where they keep on cutting to him getting stabbed.
When
something busts through his chest. He's like, "I'm sorry, Lorraine."
No, that was fucking annoying.
No, but he's acting in that scene. Like, just for a second. I thought he was really good in that. Like, that's the thing that sticks out to me, was I really like his line reading of "I'm sorry." I thought he said it with...
I'm sorry, like, once.
I thought he said it with remorse, with respect.
What is he apologizing for?
Sorry? We'll get into it when... Because I thought the movie was going in a different direction.
Yeah.
And I kind of already thought about what he was going to apologize about, but we'll get there when we talk to it. We then have our main girl, Madison Wolfe, who plays Janet, which is the little girl.
She did a pretty good job.
I thought she did a really good job for a child actress. And we might as well jump onto this now. none of the family is British. So what do you think of their accents?
Oh. The main one was good.
Yeah, I didn't pick up. I thought the mother and the main ones were fine, and I didn't.
The mother's one, I was like, that was a bit.
Oh, there's a little bit of Aussie. I thought at one stage actually.
Yeah, it was strange. It was a bit off. It didn't match with the other ones.
Yeah.
The other English ones.
Yeah.
There's so many different variations of English accent.
So what is this? No, it's not Cockney. Is it? This one was Cockney?
Well, the old man was Cockney.
Yeah.
But like, I think she was trying to be or something, and then the kids weren't. So that's what made it a bit strange to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, I mean, it's pretty fucked up how many accents they have in England.
Yeah.
At least it can change like
a
couple of like kilometers away from each other. It could be different.
Yeah, I'm like, why the fuck do they have different accents over there? Yeah. We don't have different variations of like Australian.
Maybe we do, but we just don't notice it.
Yeah, that's true. But I thought she did Fear really well, and then I thought that she did the scene that they were recording, and her face was like kind of like scrunched up and everything.
I don't remember.
This scene when she was like that.
Oh, the little girl, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the mom.
Oh, no. We haven't gotten onto the mom, but we'll get onto the mom now because that's something I'd like to do. I'd get on that mom.
Really?
Well, I don't know. Frances O'Connor, who plays the mother, Peggy, she is from the show The Missing. Have you ever seen it?
No.
Mr. Selfridge?
No.
The Hunter? Maybe she is Australian. Maybe that's why I thought that the Australian popped through.
Is that the one with Willem Dafoe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, the mother is British.
Right.
The kids aren't British.
Okay. Well, then that makes her accent even stranger.
Maybe she grew up in Australia. I swear there's some Australian in there, and that would make sense. She's in some Australian films.
Yeah. Maybe she's just born there, got taken over.
Yeah. Maybe, like
Mel Gibson.
No, isn't he New Zealand?
And that's Russell Crowe.
Oh yeah, Russell Crowe's New Zealand, but he just gets Australian.
Yeah.
And same with Nicole Kidman. She's like from Fiji.
She's Australian?
Yeah. But she's Australian.
Well, she's born in Fiji, but she like
grew up in Australia.
Yeah, that makes you Australian. Same with Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson wasn't born in Australia, but he's Australian, isn't he?
Yeah, but Obama was born in Florida or something.
No, Hawaii, and Hawaii is part of America.
He's not a real American. He's not a real American.
Hawaii is part of America.
He's not a real American. I remember when people used to like use that against him.
Donald Trump made such a big deal out of it. And like, then he revealed his birth certificate, and Donald Trump was like, "Oh, that can be fake."
Oh my god.
Fucking Donald Trump. What about the little boy who couldn't stutter for shit?
Yep, so
Yeah, that's annoying.
we've got the little boy.
There was two little boys who look really similar.
Yeah, one was like a little bit older, one was a little bit younger.
Yeah.
I think Billy was the one that that stuttered, I think, yeah?
I remember that.
So that's Benjamin Hay. And he has only ever been in this movie.
Well, okay.
And I'm just going to lump them all together because they're so genuinely...
What about the British engineered man?
Yeah. So this is who I'm lumping together. So you've got the three people that are constantly there. You've got the chick...
the skeptic one.
Yeah, you got the skeptic one, you got the one recording stuff, and then you got the British guy.
Yeah.
Well,
they're all British, but
that dude is that guy was especially British with his pronunciation. Yeah. Like he's like the British accent that I want. I don't want the Cockney one.
Yeah.
No offense to you Cockneys out there. These three, the girl and the two guys. I really like that British guy. He's been in some other things.
Yeah, he looks very familiar.
But they're so unnecessary, and we'll talk about.
It was so annoying. Any time there was someone who was like, "Ghosts aren't real," they like try to make him look like a fuckwit. Like the dude on the TV, he was like a scientist, and he's like, it's been disproven that the fucking Amityville, and like he's like, no, you weren't there, and like in real life, their roles are completely reversed. Like the fucking paranormal account would look like such a fucker, I reckon, and the scientists would be like, yeah, you're fucked, mate. It's been fucking proven they were faking it.
Yeah.
They did that all the time, but they made him a little bald man. He just looked like a cunt. And like they made the chick who was a skeptic, they made her look like a bitch. Even though like it's fucking so reasonable to doubt that. Like even the chicks in the theater were like, "Oh fuck you!" Like when she was like fucking like showing them evidence.
Yeah.
Like, that was fucked.
But I mean, like even Ed and Lorraine didn't believe the family either, which was nice.
Yeah, well, they were trying to.
Yeah, they were trying to. And we'll get into that. We won't jump ahead, but yeah, let's get in. We can say that this, as a horror movie, has better acting than most horror movies.
Yeah.
Like this series genuinely tries.
Yeah.
Like its directing is so like head and shoulders above like your average horror movie.
What about like Insidious?
It's the same director and basically the same cast. Like they probably even use the same like crew.
Yeah.
But
you know what I didn't like about Insidious 2 was that like half the scares from the first one were shown to just be the dad just like doing normal shit.
Yeah.
Like he opened the door and that was like one of the big scares. Like set up the alarm. Like that was the fucking dad. Like it wasn't even like actual ghosts most of the time. It was just
it was a time travel story.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
I didn't like that. That was dumb.
I actually love the mythos of Insidious.
Well, like,
I know. I think it's such a well realized like world. Really? I love all three of those films. I wouldn't say loved. I saw the third. Definitely, one. I wouldn't say loved actually.
Isn't the third one like the old lady from the first one's like story?
Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah, I really liked it. Right. I think it's a pretty solid trilogy. I think it's probably go like 1, 3, 2. And I still like that.
I like the first one was funny though. Sorry. Like when they played Tiptoe Through the Window. And
yeah, I know how much you love that song.
Hilarious. That was so funny. It was hilarious, Carl.
Alright, so let's get into the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we'll talk about what we liked and what we didn't like in The Conjuring 2, which may or may not be subtitled The Enfield Haunting, or Poltergeist, or something, or some shit. Amityville? Maybe? I don't know. Anyway. So this opens with basically the Amityville horror.
Yeah.
Pretty much, which I've seen 3 films about the Amityville horror.
I don't think I've seen any.
One with Ryan Reynolds' glorious abs, and then the 2 original films.
Is Ryan Reynolds the one who kills family?
So the whole thing is like the other 3 movies that I've seen are all based about the murders happening again.
Right.
So it's almost like if you were putting it into a storyline, if you were like putting it into time, it would be like The Conjuring 2's opening would happen. So that guy would kill the family, the 2 people would come in, then they would leave, and then like Ryan Reynolds' family would move in. Okay. So it'd be like, I think these were about the first murders.
How the fuck did anyone move in?
Because I think in those, the they don't know.
They just make up some bullshit.
Yeah, they don't know about it. These 2 girls ruined this opening for me. I was really liking how she was like going through with the gun.
I was at first, but then when I was looking in the mirror and at her,
yeah,
they didn't match. I was like, then why are you doing it if it doesn't even match?
It kind of matched.
It almost did, but not quite.
Yeah, it was like a little out of sync. I still think conceptually it was good, but my problem with this is that this whole movie is way too close to Insidious in going into like this dream state,
right? Yeah,
and things like that. And yeah. I really didn't like that.
She saw the future a couple times.
Yeah, she saw like. I had just separate them. I thought it was way too similar to Insidious. Although I do really like this opening.
You know, like that twist at the end, how it was like the ghost controlling the demon controlling the ghost.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I should have seen it coming, and I thought about it a bit because the ghost's eyes were yellow.
Yeah.
And the demon's eyes were yellow. And I thought about that a bit, but I didn't really make the connection.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was a bit on the nose.
Yeah. I got a bunch of things at the end that we'll talk about that are very confused about, which I'm pretty sure doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, nothing.
And I don't think we'll find answers. I think it's something that they just didn't care about.
Yeah.
But after this opening scene, we're introduced to the 4 kids leaving school, and meeting the mother and stuff. I actually really like the dynamic between all of the kids and like the mother.
But what about the little fucking stuttering kid?
I don't.
Mum always feeds her fucking biscuits. Like, no, that's fucking dumb.
Oh no, she did something nice for the
And
kids.
she's like, she like gets biscuits and she's like, I was meaning to quit smoking anyway. Like, fuck you. It's fucking stupid.
She did a nice thing for the kids.
She should have just used that money to fucking pay her rent because she couldn't pay her fucking rent. She bought biscuits for the little shit. She doesn't need biscuits. Why does he always want biscuits anyway? Fucking cunt.
No, you're being so mean to that poor little kid.
He's a shit stutterer. He's a shit actor. He can stutter for shit. You said you agreed.
Oh no, I agreed. I'm not as angry about the fact that the mother bought him biscuits.
No,
I think it's a
terrible mother. She fucking gave him a plate of biscuits before he went to bed. And she goes, "Don't eat too many biscuits or you'll wake up with a dry mouth." Instead of, "Don't fucking eat all those biscuits because you'll rot your fucking teeth because you haven't brushed your teeth."
They're in England. They don't brush their teeth.
Everyone fucking brushes their teeth.
Not in England.
Have
you seen the dental plan over there?
They brush their teeth. They just don't get braces.
All right, we can compromise. That can be our meeting ground.
Okay.
All right. So this is probably where we'll say goodbye to most of our English listeners that we've probably pissed off. Now, I'm really enjoying this build up and the kind of torturing of the family. You have the I really like the scene where she's sleepwalking. She's talking in her sleep.
But the fucking whole thing with the Ouija board was so necessary as well. And the ghost didn't even use the Ouija board.
Yeah, it was like a false, almost like a... So we would expect something, but it didn't amount to anything.
It was disappointing.
Yeah.
I guess it was so the mum would find it. And then like,
but it's not like they thought that.
And then like 10 seconds later, after, the ghost like moved something.
Yeah. But yeah, this is probably like, this is probably my favorite part of the movie. I think was
which part?
This. As much as I was hating these girls, I was really enjoying the build up of what was happening with this family. I never got to get invested, and that it was. I think I really would have enjoyed this movie, like immensely more. If they hadn't removed so much. And the thing is, I'm never going to get it back because I know the movie now. I know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
I can never achieve the same scares that I would have the first time.
When we were watching it and they were bitching, I was like, fuck, I want to just like leave right now and then just come back and watch it again.
Yeah.
Like that was the only screening. And I was like, so this is going to be ruined. And
yeah.
if we watch it again, it just won't be as good.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, yeah, but this was probably my favorite scene. This is the scene where...
I like the one when she's looking at the painting.
Yeah, I love that scene.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
Well hang on. That's just after this one. But this is the one where she goes downstairs, she checks at the chair, blah, blah, blah. She goes back up, and then she puts the chair in front of the door, and she puts the cover over herself, and she's got the torch in her face. And then...
Oh, but that was so ruined for me because they were talking so loud.
Yeah, they were talking so loud.
I couldn't even concentrate at that point.
But I love the fact that she kind of like heard a noise, and she was like, "I've got to look," and she like looks, and the chair's like right next to her.
Like,
and then
it's a bit vague in my mind because I remember I was just really.
You were really off, But the staging of this was fucking sick, and I think that almost most of this was like there was some scenes in this that were just like one take, which was great. There was the introductory scene before they all went to bed. That was like a good like 5-minute one take.
Yeah.
And they were like zooming over like every room and following the kids.
Yeah, but like you do a take like that, you should do it for a really cool thing. Like in Game of Thrones, there's the big fight.
Yeah, or in Creed.
Instead of just people going to bed.
I don't know, it just shows like
it's a lot of work just for people watch people go to bed. Like you do it for something cool. Like Creed's one was sick.
Yeah. But yeah, I really like this scene. So it's just after this that then the mother rushes in, they find out that there really is a poltergeist there, and then the police come, and then they end up...
Yeah, there was never really a bit where the mom didn't believe the kids. Well, there was for like 5 seconds, then the ghost just like revealed itself.
Yeah.
Which I thought there'd be more, like the mom like going,
I was also expecting that, but I was kind of happy they didn't draw that out.
Yeah.
Because that's
always really nice.
Sometimes they really draw it out, and you're like, fucking hell. Like, a lot of the times they don't realize until, say, the last 20 minutes of the movie.
They're like, oh my god, they're doing it this whole night.
Yeah, and so this is when they move next door to the neighbors. And now, after this, we then jump back to Ed and Lorraine, and we have another subplot happening with this nun. And now I'm very confused.
Yeah.
Because the nun is haunting 2 separate houses at the same time. Yeah, because the daughter could see the nun as well.
Yeah. I don't know, that was weird.
Yeah, so I'm really confused. Is it because of the Amityville scene that monster imprinted on her?
Maybe. Was the nun do Amityville too? Did the nun possess that dude to kill the family?
I think so.
What is this nun's motivation?
Yes, so this is another question that we have is...
The old man at one point said it wants her really bad.
Yeah, so did it just want the little girl?
It could have killed that little girl so easy.
Yeah, because that's the problem. They could have killed anybody at any stage during the movie.
They wanted to walk the little girl really slowly out of a window onto a tree that had been struck by lightning and impale her.
Yeah, and it's like, but the tree is so convenient. Like, so can the demon then also control lightning? Like, was that the plan all along?
And it fucking
20 days from now, a tree's going to strike that like fucking stump, and I'm going to kill this little girl.
And the one thing that can defeat this demon is his name, and it told the fucking main chick his name.
Yeah. Like, as soon as it asked.
Yeah.
As soon as it asked, it told her
name. What's your name? And she fucking tells her his name.
Is it like... Is that like a rule of demons? That it has to tell the name if it's asked?
Just fucking ask it his name.
Yeah. I don't know. There's just so many questions. Yeah. And I don't know whether... I don't think I missed it due to the talking.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think I missed it, but for all I know, I could have. I guess...
But I liked the non-monster.
Yeah.
I thought it was a well-designed monster. It was pretty creepy.
Yeah, but I don't like... Do you like the teeth?
I did like the teeth.
Okay.
Sometimes it looks
Sometimes I was always like, you could have... It's just as eerie and creepy for it to not have... Like, just to have its covered face. Like, I don't have to see its, like, weird teeth and its eyes.
Nah, it looked pretty creepy.
But I love that, and it slowly... The shadow moves across. Yeah. And it meets up perfectly with the
kept,
image.
Like, switching between, like, dark and the painting.
Yeah.
But then you could obviously tell when it was the fucking demon, when it was the painting. It was still pretty good.
And then the hands, like, creep out from the side.
Yeah, but then it, like, ran with the painting.
Yeah.
I was like,
but yeah, that was a really cool scene as well. Yeah. And then we jump back to the other family, and this is where it really hit for me. Is I felt that we were so far into this movie, and I was really annoyed that Ed and Lorraine weren't with this family yet.
Yeah, it took ages for them to
get there. What do you think? Like halfway through, they meet the family.
Yeah.
Like that's too long.
Yeah,
that's too like we don't need this much build up. We don't need this many things happening.
Yeah. Like all of the like story for the main 2 people in America is like pointless, really.
Yeah, it really is, because you've got 2 things that don't pan out, that don't play into the movie, that can easily be saved for a sequel. One of which is the death of the...
I thought that was going to be in the next movie.
Yeah.
Like, the nun-ghost was going to be in the next one.
You've got the subplot with the nun, you've got the subplot with Patrick Wilson dying, and you've got a subplot which isn't played up enough in this and can definitely have its own like thematic run through, and that's like the whole faking thing, because they never capitalize on that for it to be a big enough thing. The church doesn't want to get involved, and because it was so
But like,
like they threw it in over the top. They were like, oh, and we'll also put in that nobody's believing them.
yeah,
Wouldn't it have been better if Ed and Lorraine showed up and we didn't know ourselves as the audience whether or not it was them doing it, like them faking it?
yeah, but like, I also did think that they were faking it for a bit because.
But we kept on seeing the monster, so they couldn't have been
I
faking
thought that
it.
the girl was just like mentally ill. She
Okay.
probably was in real life.
Yeah, but yeah. So it was like I would have liked to have been left in the dark a bit, and then you could have completely like done that, and then I wouldn't have known. Like it would have been a fun guessing game of me trying to figure out whether or not she was faking or whether she was telling the truth.
Yeah.
But they don't capitalize on that. Anyway, we're back over here, and we've got some things in the movie where they've used stop motion animation.
Did they?
Yeah. So we've got the scene with the dog, and the dog evolves into the big
Crooked Man.
Yeah, and that crooked man is actually just
The Crooked Man looked weird, but
yeah, it's stop motion. They use stop motion for it.
it looked weird.
Yeah, I wrote down looked weird,
Looked out of
but
place.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like it was almost so out of place. Reminded me of Coraline.
I've never seen Coraline.
I
I don't like that type of movie. Like, I didn't like the Christmas one, the Halloween Christmas.
the night,
No, for Christmas?
the Nightmare of Christmas, the
that
Nightmare,
one.
Christmas is
Whatever it
Nightmare.
is, I don't like that one.
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, I don't like
Yeah.
that. I don't like Tim Burton at all.
Yeah. But yeah, and like it's like slowly moving jaggedly towards him.
I thought it was pretty kind of cool, kind of weird how the dog turned into it.
Yeah.
Like I was like, what the fuck's happening?
Yeah, I was
the
like,
dog
I thought it was
like,
blowing up the
I
dog.
thought his skin was getting ripped
Yeah.
off. Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah. So that was like kind of like a cool.
But I liked how they taught the dog how to ring the bell, take a shit. I thought that was a good idea.
It was really funny because as soon as they introduced the dog, the whole audience got the
was like,
same
that
idea
dog's
that
gonna
dog's
die,
going to
yeah.
die. They were all like, oh.
They showed it at the end just to make sure that you knew it didn't die.
It was like, it didn't die during this movie.
Don't worry, it's not
Yeah.
dead. Like, that crooked man didn't kill this dog.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
So after this, so during this, it turns out that the crooked man was actually the little girl.
Yeah.
So she could get possessed anywhere, pretty much. And she has like a kind of mild seizure, I guess. And Ed and Lorraine then fly over.
Yeah.
So yeah, halfway through, we finally get them to actually interact with the family. And
Before that was the interview. When she's like freaking out.
Yeah, that's right. So they had this interview scene where they get into the whole media angle and like the fact that people are trying to capitalize on like the story.
Like people were like, oh yeah, I see her floating around when I walk past.
It's like this all makes sense to a story where the audience doesn't know whether or not, because like we're just more angry at everybody because we're like, it's fucking there. Like there's a monster there.
Yeah.
Like there's stuff in here that would work so much better if you didn't know whether or not the haunting was actually happening.
Yeah.
So I think either commit to one thing or commit to another thing. I don't think that, especially when this movie's almost 2 hours and 20 minutes long.
Yeah, but then there'd be like half, at least an hour of like nothing happening pretty much.
I don't think you need this much build up at the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't think it needs to take that long for Ed and Lorraine to finally visit them. And I don't think that there needs to be this whole faking it subplot. But especially because I have a problem. Anyway, look, we just got... So after they...
You know what I thought was really, really fucked up? Is how under their house was like flooded.
Yeah.
And like
They
she didn't
didn't
seem
care.
worried at all. I was like,
Yeah.
that looks so fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
It looks like it's gonna rot away the foundation and just collapse that motherfucker.
Yeah. Now, there's a part where Ed Warren whips out a guitar,
Yeah, that was.
and this is where I went,
Yeah.
and this movie's grinds to a halt.
Yeah.
Pretty much, where I think any momentum it had just kind of stops because they want to slow down, they want to develop Ed
And what about that cunt who kept laughing like really loud, like
Oh yeah, there was one guy that thought that this, like, the jokes in this movie absolutely hit. There's a joke where he picks up like the old 60s camera and it's fucking massive and he's like, it's so light and small, and then they talked about like how like why they married each other and things like that.
Oh, you know this story, and just do good.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I didn't like this. It was just that the crowd so overreacted and found it so funny to a point really where it was almost irritating.
Like 1 or 2 people.
Yeah,
that fucking movie, yeah.
Because it was more just jokes where you kind of smile to yourself maybe.
They're just jokes to make the movie less dark.
Yeah, it makes it it develops them a little bit because for humor that's the best way for you to get attached to somebody is like a little bit of humor. And I'm fine with the fact that this movie's trying to develop characters, which doesn't happen in horror movies.
When he was playing the guitar and he did like a bit of an Elvis voice.
Yeah.
He fucking loved that.
Yeah, he loved that. I actually thought his Elvis voice was kind of spot on.
Kind of.
I was like, well, you're going to get picked up for the biopic of Elvis Presley. During all of this, that Ed and Lorraine are very suspicious about the fact that this family is lying and taking advantage of the church. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, because she couldn't feel the ghost.
Yeah, because she couldn't feel the ghost. We then have this scene where, actually, I thought this was like a good shock. Was the little boy was like, "I'm not going to be scared anymore," and he walks in, all the knives are on the table, and then like he turns around and like the daughter's there with a knife like right next to him, and like the daughter slams.
But she was faking that bit, so how did she like teleport into that room? The kid not seeing.
I don't think she was faking it then.
No, but
was she?
Yeah.
And then afterwards, she was told to fake it.
No, the whole thing was a fake.
Was it the whole thing was a fake? I thought it was only after when she was into the kitchen that it was a fake. But I thought it was like because it was like only on the video camera that it was faking. Everything else, like I think that like the demon actually put that boy, like. The demon made the girl put that boy into the closet. It's not like we saw on the videotape, but she was like, "Come get into the closet." Yeah. Does it want the kid? Does it want the family? I don't know what the demon wants. I have no fucking clue as to what the demon wants in this movie. But
what about the other interview when they're talking to the old man in the chair and they look away?
Ooh, I have really liked that.
That was pretty good. But then, like the whole time, I was thinking, like, this happened in real life, like. How could they not be fucking suspicious? Like, the ghost asked them to look away this time. Yeah. She has to, like, put water in her mouth.
Yeah. Also, I don't think a little girl can make that voice. Like, come on.
Oh, man. You'd be surprised.
Yeah. But I thought this was good, especially because, like, the background kind of rearranges itself. Like, It, like,
and it turns into
and it doesn't cut, either. Like, that's a full scene of just him...
Like, how hard could it be just CGI a fadey shape in the background?
Yeah.
Just do a little green screen.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they did. I'm saying more just like it was like a long scene, one take, and it was just like just an actor's face, but you're still. I was really enthralled in the scene. I
thought it was pretty stupid how he didn't turn around once.
Yeah.
Like he even took off his necklace and showed to it without looking.
Yeah. Imagine if the demon just snatched the necklace and I was like, haha, sucker.
I'm like, why does his necklace work, but none of those crucifixes on the wall did anything?
He has faith, though. He has faith.
The mom didn't have faith?
Mm-mm.
The little girl didn't have faith?
Mm-mm.
Fucking dumb, man.
But yeah, that interview scene with the devil. I'm really liking a lot of these scenes, but I'm also finding a lot of repetition where I'm like, some of the scenes feel a little disconnected. It's just
what about
like,
the TV scene? When she has a remote.
Did you like that scene?
It was okay.
I like the reflection was in the TV. I didn't like that she turned around and he was still in the chair and then he just kind of went away. I didn't like that. Yeah. I would have liked it more if she just kind of turned around and the remote fell. Like if he wasn't just sitting in the chair. I'm always like, I really like kind of seeing the ghost in the darkness, but I never like seeing the ghost full on because I feel like once you see it,
it just look like an old man with yellow eyes.
Once you see it, the suspense is gone. Like because everything you build up in your head is so much better and darker and frightening than whatever they can actually put on screen.
Yeah.
Like what's a horror movie monster that's actually lived up to like the hype of like the movie's given you?
It Follows was pretty good. But
did we see the monster?
No. But that was a fucking sick movie.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
I want to see more of that. That was intense. the whole time I was watching, I was like, fucking eyeing off every cunt in the background.
Yeah.
That's scary, man.
Yeah,
But
that's
it was also a bit
conceptually
weird
really good.
how when it caught that dude, like, turned into his mom and, like, fucked him
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah. It Follows is good.
Yeah. It's good, but it has some problems.
I don't like its final act, if I'm being
Yeah,
honest.
and the pool.
Yeah, I think I'd say that the first, especially that opening is really, like, not the opening, but like just the whole beginning of that movie is really good.
It's a lot of good bits.
Yeah.
But like,
And the way it like cuts to her on the beach and she's just mangled up, like.
I don't really remember that.
Okay.
But I just remember like, just being like, fucking hell, man. Just whenever they're like sitting around talking and you see people walking.
Yeah, you were suspicious
like,
as fuck of those people.
Fuck, man, this is gonna get intense.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, we have this scene where Ed and Lorraine Warren think that she might be faking it because she starts throwing around the stuff in the kitchen.
There's a video of her.
And I was there being like, does that prove anything? Couldn't she still be possessed and throwing stuff around? What's the...
She's obviously faking it.
Sorry? I was like, but I myself was like, this doesn't prove anything, really?
Well, they said it was a ghost, like, doing this shit.
So what, they should have seen everything floating around?
Yeah.
She's not allowed to do it herself?
Yeah. Otherwise, she's just a fucking mentally disturbed little girl, which she definitely was.
No, I feel like she can be allowed to throw stuff around.
Nah. Ghost, because what scariness does that have?
Sorry?
How is that intimidating? A little girl picking up a table and flipping it over.
No, I'm saying, like, in my mind, I can still be like, what proof does what proof does the videotape show that doesn't...
It proves that she faked it.
But it doesn't, you can still say, oh, it's inside of her.
A ghost made me pick up a
That's immediately what I thought to. I was like, what, so the thing isn't allowed to be inside of her and throwing the stuff around? What's wrong with that?
It obviously looked like she was faking it.
I didn't think it looked like she was
picked up a
faking it.
fucking ladle and bent it.
Yeah. I was like...
How is that
I was like, the ghost is telling her to do that.
To pick up a ladle and bend it?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know what ghosts want, but I was like, I immediately didn't think, well, let's just give up on the family then.
I fucking would.
I didn't think it proved anything.
It definitely proved it. If that happened in real life, and I'm not sure if it did because I don't know the fucking facts of this bullshit case, but like, if that happened, you just be like, yeah, she's faking it.
I feel like
all the evidence points to that she's fucking faking it.
And then, didn't it also, like, during that, it cut to her and she was all, like, mangled up inside of, like...
Yeah, she just climbed into that little cupboard.
Oh, okay.
She wasn't mangled up, because she just got pulled out, like, easily.
Yeah. That's what I was like. I was like, oh,
her hand looked a bit weird.
Yeah, I was like, everything... I was like, it looked like her neck was in the wrong place as well.
She was fine, because she got, like, just lightly pulled out.
Yeah.
She didn't have to get untangled or anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that they still hadn't had anything that was like proof of the fact that she was faking.
What about that dude who was like, how did she get in here? Like, what? They just opened a door and
That's something I forgot about. I love the scene where she ties herself to the bed and she floats from down the bottom up through into the next room.
Teleported.
I was like, that was cool. She gets pulled up through the rope.
Weird. I was like,
that's sick editing. I was like, that looks cool.
Good editing, maybe. It didn't make any fucking sense.
Sorry. Oh no, I mean I was more like saying that that looks cool. Like I really like that scene from like how cool that scene looks. Everybody leaves because they're like, oh, she's faking it, and then very quickly they kind of put it together that she's not faking it.
But I liked how there was like the two
tapes.
Yeah, but then I didn't remember when they were recording it the second time.
So it's at this point when they put it all together. I'm actually kind of into this at the moment. I'm like, oh, they're kind of piecing it all together. Blah blah blah. What? There's like there's 4 children, and one of the children does fucking shit all. He has one line at the beginning, and then nothing for the next hour and 40 minutes. He was such a necessary child, wasn't he? Yeah, so unnecessary. And this is the same thing in Insidious. They completely forget about the 2 other children.
I didn't remember the other 2 kids.
Yeah, see? And then, where is Ed and Lorraine's daughter? Who'd they give that
Alright,
to?
it was left in America.
They just left her in America. Who's looking after her? They just left.
Maybe just that priest was there for like a minute.
Yeah, it was like, can you
Look
just
after
stay
my
on the
little girl and please don't rape her.
Don't you think they'd be
Please
frightened?
don't spotlight her.
Don't you think they'd be frightened of the fact that she was able to see the nun as well?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you be like, what if that's going to haunt my daughter? But no, they get up and leave for 3 days to another country.
Yeah, why didn't they?
Why didn't they?
Why didn't the nun just like kill that little girl? That would have fucked over the parents so much more.
Like, yeah. So these are the questions that I have where I'm like, where are these children? Why are these children in the movie? What's happening? Who's looking after them? Anyway, we get this last scene. They're all kind of rushing to get back to the house.
And what about that fat dude who couldn't fucking axe down that door for shit?
Yeah.
He was there for like a good 20 minutes. An hour probably, yeah.
Day. He didn't get in until the next day.
And like he axed open like half the door.
She gets through.
But he couldn't get but he axed all the way down.
Yeah.
Why didn't he do it at an angle?
I was like,
so he could fit his fat ass through.
I saw he was like, he axed
and
right into the middle. I was like, why aren't you axing out the knob?
Why doesn't he get the hinges or the knob, yeah?
Like, wouldn't the axing out the knob be better?
He axed out the entire right side where the handle is.
Yeah.
Why couldn't he open the door at that point? There was no handle left
this fat
to
guy's
hold the door in
retarded.
place.
He's genuinely retarded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lightning strikes this tree. The camera goes, zooms up to the tree, and the tree goes.
Point.
And the music's basically like dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering the whole time. I was like,
what
how
was
was he
that
going to get
spiky
stabbed
thing?
with such a weird looking object?
And like if
how was
this
it gonna...
demon can stab people like that, why doesn't it just do it all the time?
So, and I was expecting the reason that he was saying sorry was because they had that door scene, and he was like, I'm sorry I couldn't because at the beginning of the movie she was like, let's leave this, let's stop doing this, but he just kept on feeling so compelled to help people. I thought that's why he was apologizing in that scene. He's like, I'm sorry that
I like to help people.
He was like, I'm sorry that it was almost like his flaw that, remember how he kept on getting too angry about people saying that it wasn't real? Like, it was like, I'm sorry.
Real.
Yeah, no, but in terms of the movie, it is real.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that's why he was apologizing, but that doesn't pan out anyway.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what was the point? Like, why were they able to avoid it?
Yeah.
I feel like, anyway.
Then it was like, God sent you these premonitions that you could change the future or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I was originally like kind of into that subplot, but by the end of it, I didn't want to have anything to do with it.
I thought it was gonna happen in the next movie.
Yeah.
I didn't expect the nun to
die.
To be the cause of it.
Oh yeah.
I thought that whole
it was only connected to them. I was so confused as to why was the nun in two places at once?
Yeah.
How does that work?
It can be in two places at once.
Why isn't it just everywhere at once?
Why doesn't it kill their daughter?
Why didn't it jump into the daughter as well? Was that because they didn't have another entity in the house for them to was it because the nun had died so long? Who is the nun?
I don't think it's not an actual nun. It's a demon.
Yeah.
It's a demon because she said it's taken the form, a blasphemous form, to fuck with my faith. So it's not an actual nun. It's just a demon dressing like a nun to be blasphemous.
I thought it was to do with the fact that because Ed had that whole backstory about a nun,
right? And
I was like, I thought it was playing into something that he had done a long time ago with another ghost, and it was just a ghost from his past.
No, it's like a full-on demon monster. It was called Balak.
Yeah,
I don't think it was even a chick. I think it was a dude.
Yeah, it was a dude. Yeah. And that was another thing that just connected it more to Insidious for me was it was like Black Veil, who's also a man in drag, who's also connected to Patrick Wilson's past.
And they also go into dream states.
Yeah, and they also go into dream states. It was just running such a thin... it was just so close to Insidious that it was almost annoying me.
Yeah. But it was better than Insidious 2, I reckon.
This is better than Insidious 2, yeah.
Insidious 2 is fucking weird.
But yeah, they defeat the demon. It tells the name. I don't know why. I don't understand how any of the... I'm left confused as to what the nun wants. None of it. I'm left with so many questions. What does the demon want? Why is it doing what it's doing? Why does it terrorize Lorraine? Why does it say its name?
Yeah. I reckon the main thing is, why would it tell her the one thing that gives it power, that gives her power
Yeah.
over it?
I just no clue.
Yeah. Didn't it want to win?
Yeah.
Like, did it want to lose? Why would this evil monster?
Because it didn't seem happy that it lost, so I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure it didn't want to
no.
lose. Yeah, and so all of this is done. We then have Ari and I shared a beautiful moment in this movie where the little girl said, "You said that we only ever needed one special person."
Oh my god!
But but now I've got two,
Yeah.
and looked at the two Warrens, and Ari and I looked at each other, and we were both like, "Oh my!"
That was the fucking worst part. I reckon that was horrible.
We groaned so simultaneously.
Yeah. That was a nightmare. That was fucked up.
And then it does that zoom up of the chair, and was like, the mother died here
in the chair.
Yeah,
Like,
same way, same
that's
place.
so dumb. Why wouldn't the mum get rid of that chair?
Yeah, I know,
It's
right?
such a
Why wouldn't you get rid of a ton of the
Why
furniture?
would she move away?
Yeah, after all that's happened.
Fuck
Yeah.
that.
And it cuts to him putting like the little stick figure man inside of his big collection of things from all the things that have haunted.
Yeah. But like, also, like, fuck what I was gonna say. Right. So they said the bit how the mum died in that chair like 40 years later.
Yeah.
But then, was that meant to make us think like the ghost was still there and it killed her in the same chair?
I don't think so.
Like, what relevance does it have?
I don't know. I think it was almost just like they were like, what a fucking kind of weird coincidence, and they just wanted to tell us that, so we were left being
There's
like,
only so many chairs in the house.
Yeah.
And she was an old person. It's a rocking chair.
Yeah.
And it's not that surprising, really.
Yeah.
I'm more surprised that she fucking kept it.
Do you prefer movies that have a happy ending or because I used to always be like, I loved horror movies where the ending would be like nothing worked out, but I'm so sick of it now. I'm so sick of it. I'm like, and I was like, kept on waiting in the last 5 minutes of this movie for Ed to die. Suddenly, and I was like, I'll be so annoyed if he's like, his death is just like rushed and it's the last scene of the movie where it's like, and he like cuts to black and it's like Conjuring 2. Dun, 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 dun. I was more than happy that they had like a happy ending.
Yeah, it was a good ending.
Yeah.
Like, what was the ending of It Follows? Was it ambiguous at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good ending.
Yeah.
Like
the ambiguity of whether or not.
Wasn't there still like someone walking in the background? And you think,
like, well, it was like they had.
They thought they
had sex and got rid of it.
Yeah.
But you never know for sure.
Yeah. Oh man. Fuck. I keep thinking about It Follows.
Yeah, and my favorite scene in that is where you don't know whether or not she's had sex with those two guys on the boat. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And I was like, and did those two guys end up getting killed? Like, there's so many cool little things
I think
in
they
that.
did end up getting killed, yeah.
There's so many cool little things in that movie. Yeah.
But the pool bit was shit.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
And I was like, just get out of the fucking pool. Get out of the, and like, they should, anyway.
But then, I remember I was thinking about like, why doesn't she just like fly to a different country?
Yeah, because wouldn't that mean that the demon has to walk over?
Yeah, can it walk through an ocean?
Yeah.
Like, even so, you could like calculate how long it takes for a demon to walk like so far. Like, you can walk like 10 meters and see, okay, that takes me like a minute. And then you calculate how many meters it is from like America to like fucking South America. And then there'd be like a year or so. So you live for a year in South America, and you fly back to, you wait for it to arrive, then you fly back to America.
Yeah.
You wait a year, then you just do that.
Yeah.
That's solvable.
It's like the same with like the Purge. Why wouldn't you just leave the country?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
go to Mexico for a day.
Like, you'll be fine. Come on.
And what about in Doctor Who? How there are those statues that attack you when you have your eyes closed?
Yeah.
Close one eye at a time. Boom. I figured that out when I was like 10 watching. I was like, I'd never be killed by those fucking things. See that? How easy is that? You never have to blink. Just one eye at a time.
Yeah. Can't have your back to it either. So if they circle you, you're
Well,
fucked.
then you just get 2 people. Back to back, just one eye at a time.
Yeah, or you leave.
Yeah. I mean, that was a fucking scary episode, Doctor Who.
It was such a good episode of Doctor Who. That was torturous as a kid.
Yeah. But when I was a kid, when I watched it, I was like, you just one eye at a time. Yeah.
Alright, in the end, Ari, how did this movie compare to your low expectations?
I thought it was a bit better.
Yep.
It was a decent horror movie.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta kind of judge horror movies like separately. Like
you really do, because when you get a good one, it's kind of few and far between where you get one that's like either groundbreaking or something different.
the best horror movie is not going to be one of the best movies of all time.
Yeah, that's right.
Because there's horror movies. They're not made to be great. They're made to give you little scares.
Yeah, you've got some horror movies that are trying to be more than a horror movie. You got horror movies that are both like The Others. That's also kind of like a family drama, or like Sixth Sense. Things like that, which are like they've got horror elements, but they're not a flat out horror movie. And those movies work almost like where we talked about some comedies, where even if the comedy you don't find funny anymore, the movie still works on a certain level. And this movie doesn't have that. It doesn't have that, where this movie can only work as a horror movie. It doesn't have an underlying. It doesn't have anything else going on with it that will make you want to return to it.
Another thing that's similar between Insidious and this one is the demon. Like, the non-demon is pretty similar to the red-faced demon, do you reckon?
I thought it was similar to the Veil Demon.
Yeah, both are.
Yeah.
Because, like...
the teeth, the eyes.
Yeah, and, like, the waist is kind of there in, the corner, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this movie definitely exceeded my low expectations.
Yeah. It would have been better if those cons.
I don't know how. I could have been really positive about this movie if I had watched it under different circumstances, because I was getting into scenes and then completely taken out, and it was ruined. The first
whole
45 minutes,
scene.
the first almost hour is ruined.
Yeah. I was just so angry.
Yeah, I was so angry and seething, and then it just ruined the other half because I was so angry about how much it angered me about the first half. So, I almost can't give it like its proper rating, but I will say that this movie definitely it was a ton better than I thought it was going to be.
Sure. I think it's better than the first one.
Yeah, I think it's better than the first one as well. I haven't returned to the first one. And
was it a ghost in the first one? Or was it a demon again?
I don't know, the mother got possessed, I think, at the end.
Can ghosts possess, or is it just demons?
I think this is demons, isn't it? Demons possess?
No.
But, where would you, rate this with, the other two Insidiouses and, the first Conjuring movie? What would you do?
Number 1 would be the first Insidious, because that was funny. Then probably Conjuring 2, Conjuring 1, then Insidious 2. But those are the only ones I've seen. I haven't seen Insidious 3.
Yeah. I'd do Insidious 1, not because I find that movie funny.
That's fucking funny.
Conjuring 2, Conjuring 1, Insidious 3, and then Insidious 2.
I don't remember a thing about the Conjuring 1, apart from that tree.
Thanks for listening to the Great Expectations podcast. You can subscribe to our podcast. We have a new episode every Tuesday, except for this Tuesday, or last Tuesday because I was late.
Right.
Please join us next week when we review the Hunt for the Wilder People. Wilder People?
Wilder People.
Hunt for the Wilder People. Why isn't it wild? People.
It's the wilderness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no wilderness.
It's true. The Hunt for the Wilder People. What are your expectations for the Hunt for the Wilder People? You can email us at greatexpectationsthepodcast@gmail.com with any other comments, complaints, or improvements you might have. The email is in the description as well. If you don't have iTunes, we can be found on Stitcher, or you can download our episodes from our website, where you can also find the upcoming slate of movies we are set to review, and other movie reviews, old and new, in our blog section. You can also find us on Facebook, where reviews are posted. If you have a movie you would like us to talk about, email us, and it will most likely be done on one of the following week's podcasts. You can rate us on iTunes. 5-star reviews help out more than you might think. Until next time, don't let your expectations get the better of you. See you guys.
Bye.
Outtakes.
Oh, that tastes good. It's the which one is that? Yeah, it's good shit. It's like
It's not as good as real Earl Grey.
I don't know. It's like sweeter. It's nice.
Earl Grey is from England, not from France.
What's wrong with it being from France?
It's French don't know tea. French no wine. English no tea.
Already coming out with the facts.
Yeah.
Outtakes.
It's my phone. What did I do with my phone?
You're fine.
Oh, my pies.
It's not pie. It's cake.
Oh.
Though. It's cheesecake.
It's got a crust. It's a pie.
Ooh, it's not a crust. It's a base.
It's got a crusty base.
It's a biscuity base.
It's fucking good cheesecake.
I only had it when it was a little bit warm, but it's still fairly good.
I don't know what I was doing then. I was going to start describing the cheesecake, but I was like, no.
You were just moving your fucking
fork around.
Outtakes.
Oh, I know. I really... Oh, don't you love in Thor 2 how that thing happens?
Yeah.
And there's that generic villain and he does that thing.
The bit with that stuff.
And there's those other characters
There's the red
who are
stuff.
comic relief, but they do that thing. Remember how nothing memorable happens in that
we
movie?
can't do Hunt for the Wilderpeople. We're doing Thor 2.
We're not doing Thor.
We're doing Thor 2.
We're not doing Thor. You know what? Okay, wait. We can do Thor 2 if we can work out a time in which we can get drunk and watch.
Okay.